Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by my channel today. My name's Tammy and I want to reformulate my soap recipe. So last year, guys, I had 8 oils in my soap recipe and I just felt like that was a little much. And I wanted to add a butter. So I ended up replacing my lard with a butter. And then earlier this winter, I decided that I wanted to drop my palm kernel flakes. I still wanted to simplify my recipe. I felt like it was unnecessary to have 7 oils in my recipe. I ended up dropping my palm kernel flakes once I ran low on that item. I had to use them up, obviously. So I have 2 recipes I'm going to be showing you today that I tested a couple months ago. It's been a while. The fragrance I'm using in the soap is Agave Nectar and Lime Blossom from Midwest Fragrance. I didn't want to skew my testers' perception of whether they like the soap or not, so that is why I use the same fragrance oil for both batches, but I did end up changing the colors just a little bit. My original plan was to use 2 different greens with the yellow swirl, and then I would know that the dark green or the light green would be test 1 versus test 2. I ended up switching that on the fly to 1 yellow and 1 orange swirl. I'm so glad I did because my greens turned out to be a little closer than I had originally thought they would be. So stay tuned to the making, cutting, and demo. Yes, recipe is going to be down in the description box, guys. All right, this is just a smaller 35 batch for me. So I'll get about 9 bars out of this. Just put my kaolin clay in here, so I'm going to mix that in really well. I'm not going to do any kind of goat's milk or milk powder or anything like that. It's just the soap. I have to hurry because this is quite cool right now. Let me get this ready. All right, let's put my glasses on. Let's do test 1 with sea glass green. It's so pretty. And then a little bit of lemon chiffon, both from Micah's and More. Don't worry about the orange color you see here. That will turn back to a very pretty yellow once it is done going through saponification. All right, let's get this in here. Is it ready? Yeah, it could be a little thicker. I just think this sea glass green is such a pretty green. It's so soft. Alrighty, so I am just going to do just a quick swirl here, nothing too crazy. Right, and the orange. Yellow. To be yellow. All right, so this is going to go onto a counter. Maybe I'll take it upstairs and see pop it. I haven't done that in forever. But I don't have any room on my counter under the heating pad. The heating pad is in use with other soaps. So yeah, I might just see pop this, guys. I don't miss carrying these things back up and down the stairs though. I think I have everything ready. So this gave me an idea. Instead of doing green and yellow, I'm gonna do green and orange because I thought actually that was quite pretty. So I grabbed Clementine Mica from Micas and More, and I'm going to keep with my apple green that I was going to use. So the green will be a little bit different. I already have my orange mica in my little pot here. So let's just get her done. I'm pretty much going to do it the same way as I did the other one. Moving right along here, guys. It's a little less thick than I would prefer, but the orange is quite thick. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna take both of these upstairs and get them in the oven, and then we'll cut them in a few days. I am glad I very last second decided to make one yellow and one orange. I think that's gonna be so much easier. All right, let's just take a quick look at the design on the inside. I know I didn't do anything too spectacular. It's very pretty. I think as far as design goes, I think the yellow would be better if it was just a little bit more muted, you know, and soft, and it's a little bright compared to the green. But that may tone down a little bit. But that is a really pretty yellow. And it did come back. It was orange, if you remember. Whoops. All right, there's the orange. And these are two different greens. But the greens are very similar. I mean, I don't even know if the camera will pick up the difference. This has a little bit more blue and this has just a tiny bit more yellow in it. I think this would be pretty if the green was really vibrant or the orange was really kind of more of a, I don't know if orange can be pastel. I assume it can. Just a little bit less harsh of the orange color. It's a beautiful orange though. I do like the orange. I like the yellow. I just think they're a little too saturated for the green that they are next to. Not hating it, guys. I'm just sharing my observation so you can learn with me because I learn every time I do this. I learn. See you in about 2 weeks, maybe 3, maybe 4. We'll see. It has been roughly 3 weeks. It's a little early, but I have got to get these tested so I can figure out which recipe I'm going to go with. And I am going to cut these 2 little end pieces here. I'm going to save the bigger pieces for my testers, and I'm going to take the smaller pieces. So this first test is just a feel test. I just want to see how it lathers, if I like one hugely better than the other. And taking into the grain of salt that this has been only 3 weeks. This is quite lovely. This is test 2. Oh my. Oh, this is, uh-oh, there's Lily. Somebody must be at the door. That's really nice. Test 1. I think test 1 has Maybe bigger bubbles or more foam. This feels really nice too. Test 1 is nice. I think I like test number 2 better. I gotta go see what Lily's barking at. I'm gonna send these to work to have some testers actually use them in the shower, make sure they don't dry skin or anything like that. I'll come back with a final verdict. All right, guys, so which recipe do you think won? It was test number 1. I, at first, really felt personally that I liked the test number 2 the best, but I did end up agreeing with all of the testers that I had that I did end up liking test number 1 better. I just felt like the lather was a little bit more profuse and it just felt better in the end. It was so funny, guys. Every tester came back with pretty much the same wording. I like them both equally, but if I had to choose, I would choose number 1. Other than my husband, who was of no use to me whatsoever, he was like, I just can't tell a difference. But every other one said the same thing. If they had to choose, they would choose test 1. Test 1 cost me 3 cents more per bar to make, so not a make or break by any means. So my concerns about the recipe that I have chosen is, 1, it's not quite as white of a bar as I would prefer. I think I would like a lighter colored bar of soap. And I think that it's a little bit quicker moving than I would also prefer. Now I know in this video, those soaps really didn't have any problem with the trace, but since then, the soaps I've made, I have had a little bit of a problem with them tracing a little bit quicker than I would expect them to. My unsaturated versus saturated fatty acid profile, I have a 58 unsaturated with a 42 saturated. Another thing I may do, because I do prefer to pour with some bit of trace to my soap. I don't like pouring too thin. But if I'm working with an accelerating fragrance oil, maybe that soap, I will swap out the butter for lard. Lard will slow down your trace. So anytime I need a very slow moving recipe for a specific soap challenge club or something like that where I know I need a slow trace, I will put lard in my batter, and that really will help. I think that's it. Let's look at these soaps. So here is the soap. I have them wrapped already. They've been on my shelf for a while. I will say, just for full disclosure, guys, that the scent faded quite a bit. I used 6% in the soap recipe and it faded. I can still smell it. It's just not very strong. So I won't be using that scent for soap anymore. I think I'll just stick with it for bath bombs, and then I probably won't purchase it again. It's a lovely scent though, shoot. So I have not sold one of these because people are just not gravitating towards this bar that doesn't have much of a scent to it. So those are probably going to be marked down on my website soon. All right, well, I think that's it. So if you have any recommendations on what I should do with my recipe, I would love to hear it. A little bit whiter, a little bit slower, I think I would be perfect. Till then, I do have a video that I have started taping, and that video is start to finish on how to make soap. It's kind of more for the ones that are more new to soap making. I just get a lot of questions. It's not going to be a tutorial. I don't want that pressure, guys. But it is more of a start to finish soap making video that I thought I would share, and that is with test number 1. And if you want more information on the soap making process itself, stay tuned for that. Have a great week, guys. I hope to see you next week. Bye.